Hello, welcome to Creative You Podcast. It's May 26th and I'm Catherine Kirby. And tonight we're going to learn about George Washington Carver's connection to crochet and textile arts. But first, just a little update on my project. Seems like as soon as I start a podcast, I'm throwing things on the floor. So this is Cascade Fixation Yarn, which is a DK weight, great for socks. Has a little bit of spandex, and I'm getting all kinds of color pooling, which Katie stopped in at the shop and I was saying, I don't know if I like this. And she said, I don't know, it's kind of like a tie-dyed effect. So this is my secret little top. I'm ready to start doing the shoulders, and my granddaughter's leaving for the show at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's now like 10:30. So, I don't think, and I know sometimes we put all this pressure on ourselves to get a gift done, and really the recipient doesn't know. They're not thinking about it. They don't care. And while I'm picturing her wearing this and loving it, she might not even ever get it out of her suitcase. So I don't know. I was encouraged one time. I made some little gifts for my granddaughter Anna as she was growing up. She was never really interested in them. And then when she got to be about 14, she invited me up to see her bedroom because they painted it and redecorated. And she had a drawer with all the little things I ever made her. So the Calypso Shawl is finished. Now, this does not have all the repeats that the pattern called for. This is Lorene Haythorne Epaulight, and there's her Ravelry page. Now, one of the viewers complained that I'm not doing links. Let me tell you, with my life and having fibromyalgia and working and trying to make my husband happy and having all these pets, I just barely get this done. In my description, I do put the name of the patterns and the designer, so they're always on Ravelry unless I tell you differently. So you can see in her picture, that's a full big shawl. I only did mine as a shawlette. So it all depends. Do you want and I did mine in a sport weight instead of a worsted weight, so mine is smaller. But do you want it to be warm? Do you want to wrap in it in the winter? Or do you just want something more decorative? So when you have a boomerang shawl, you have a lot of ways you can wrap it. And I realize this top isn't exactly fashion style with this, but you can do it like this. You can also get these, they called them needle keepers. This is a Southwest theme, but they invented them for women that would do quilting and needle arts and kept losing their needle, could just stick it on there. But they are great if you don't want to use a shawl pin. Another way I like to use these is with part of it hanging down. So let's see. You can start to wrap a boomerang shawl at the small end, bring it around. You can do a scarf like. You can have this end hang down on this side like that. But these little needle keepers, you can put them on, put your magnet on the back side, and it will hold your things in place. You can do them as a scarf. You can wrap them as a cowl. There's a lot of ways you can wear a boomerang shawl. You can wear it as like a kerchief with just that part down. You can wrap that under if you like, or you can do it the traditional way around the back. You can also just let it hang down like that, like a scarf. Just so many ways that you can do it. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do in Euro Yarns Maple. This is roasted pepper color. And it's polyester yarn, but it works up so soft. I have a lot of crocheters that love this yarn. It sells for $8. You get 262 yarns. And no, I don't have a website, but you can call my shop anytime, or you can email me, and I'll put that in the description. So why was George Washington Carver involved in textile arts? He had a very humble beginning, and that's, you know, he died in 1943. He actually went to college, and he went to college in the art department, and then someone influenced him to go for plants and botany, agriculture, and so forth. But in his upbringing, older women were his role models, and he was taught at a young age to crochet. He never wasted anything. I mean, he would have fit in today with recycling and all, because he never wasted a scrap of anything. If you could recycle it, reuse it. Here's an example of his embroiderer work. I actually remember that pattern. And here in a museum, and I'll put a link to this website, are his crocheted pieces, which surprisingly were decorative instead of functional. This is at the George Washington Carver National Park in Diamond, Missouri. I believe that's where he grew up. There's another one of his pieces. Can you imagine something you crocheted being brought out with gloved hands and have it treated like a jewel? And he also was into basketry. I think also he was trying to perfect things that he could teach other people, regardless of the material. He was always working to make things. Do you know that we think of him with peanuts. He would extract color pigments from sweet potato peelings and tomato plant vines as dyes. He developed over 300 products in his life. He would use peanut dye to create intense browns, grays, lavenders, pale cranberries, yellow, wood ashes for yellow and khaki brown. He was a very busy man. So that is a surprising story about George Washington Carver. And I think it's a short show tonight, so thank you for joining me. My husband is waiting for me to go to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow. And shine, baby, shine.